HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let's do it again. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, Bochem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy still sort of Purim.
Happy Purim.
There we go.
Purim.
Let's try that again. This is one of those fun Purim years where you actually get 3 days of Purim depending on where you live. If you're in a walled city, being a Shabbat kind of pushes stuff even more into the second day. But if you want to know more about that, you're going to have to ask us another time. Because most of all, this evening today is Shabbat. And so whether you're joining us here in person, or as I like to say, and I imagine we have quite a few this evening, joining us through the magic of the internet, it is wonderful to be together to celebrate Shabbat. As we get going, a couple of quick and important announcements. Because of the wind and the incoming storm, a few quick things to mention. First, for everyone here in person or at home, if there is a siren and we do need to move to a safe location, we will stop the service and do so. At home, please do so. Here in person, for those who are here, just so you know, that safe place will be across the hall in our auditorium, right along the wall on this side of the auditorium. We'll help guide you through that. Additionally, because of the wind, if we happen to lose power or internet, for people through the magic of the internet, we do apologize, but there's nothing we can do about that. What we can do, though, is bring the wonderful spirit of Shabbat, of Purim joy, of Shabbat joy, and a moment of rest and relaxation, hopefully to this, of quietude in the midst of all this wind. And so we begin this Shabbat, as we do every Shabbat, by bringing in the Sabbath light with lighting of the candles. And I invite forward Felicia Malter, Sarah Malter, and Gaia Zohar to help lead us in our candle lighting. You can find that on page 120.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who sanctifies us with mitzvot and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
And there was evening and there was morning. Please rise. And there was evening and there was morning on the sixth day. Heaven and the earth were finished in all of their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all of the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Page 123.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת אמן לחיים
L'chaim. And you all may be seated. This evening, I am excited that Gaia will get to give another Devar Israel. And for, again, those of you in person, you get to see it in person, but I know that there are so many people who are watching online. We Jews are a stiff-necked people, and so we want to celebrate Shabbat, and I'm sure there are plenty of people who have joined us, again, through the magic of the internet.
All right, Shabbat Shalom and hello, dear community, Shabbat Shalom. It is so great to see who got here, and I'm sure there are some people that are watching us. It felt like a long time that I haven't been here because I have been traveling to many places, including Israel, of course. So just a little bit more than a week ago, I returned from Israel, which reminded me once again why it is it. Can I just lift it? Okay. Okay. I'm good. So I visited Israel, which reminded me once again why is it the most amazing country in the world and my absolute favorite. So tonight I'm going to take you with me through my journey visiting Israel. I had been so excited for this flight to Israel for a long time, and I couldn't wait. I looked forward to seeing my family and friends, visiting my favorite places, and even the little things like my grandmother's granola cookies or seeing the Hebrew writing on the streets. And I even missed the chaotic traffic and the Israeli nerves on the roads, because after all, we're not Midwest nice over there. But more than these feelings, I miss something I haven't felt before. These past 6 months have connected me to my Jewish identity in a whole new way. How could I even begin to explain to the people who love me in Israel what I've learned here in St. Louis, what experiences I have had and what I've been exposed to, and how much I now see Israel in a really different light and realize how significant my tiny country is to me. Suddenly, I feel like being Israeli is not something that I should take for granted. I learned about every holiday, every tradition, and every Israeli costume in such a different and beautiful way, and I didn't even know how I could share it with everybody back home. How could I explain to my family that I have sort of like a second family here in an entire different country? So before this flight, many thoughts crossed my mind. Would it feel strange to see my friends And after all, I've changed a lot in here in the United States, and I feel like a completely different person. Suddenly, I slip English words into my Hebrew sentences. I have entirely different habits than I had in Israel, and I feel like I matured so much and learned so much about myself, about Judaism, and about my country that I, like most Israeli kids, don't know usually. And I wasn't sure what it would be like when I saw everyone after such crazy 6 months, but I was definitely curious to find out. So I endured the long flight to Israel, which felt endless, and my family picked me up from the airport. There they surprised me with flowers and a nice sign, and of course I was so excited. My grandmother arrived at our house with 5 boxes of all of my favorite cookies. My mom didn't know what food I would want, so she made 2 kinds of pasta and 2 kinds of soup and a lot of salads just in case that she wanted to be exactly on my favorite thing, because nothing beats mom's good cooking. And in short, my family showered me with love from the very first moment that I arrived. At the next day, I didn't waste any time, and like any good Shinshinit who lives abroad, I went to surprise my best friends who didn't know when I'm coming back to Israel, because of course, I didn't tell them. So I hopped in the car and started driving. My friends in Israel are all in different programs. Some are in Mechina program, and some are Shinshinim, but in Israel, and some have already enlisted in the IDF. And these places are spread across different parts of Israel. So to surprise them, I drove all across the country. I was at Kibbutz Dvir in the south, and then Emek HaMayanot in the north, and of course in the center. And I visited all of these crazy places in one day. And while I was on the roads driving through Israel, I thought to myself how amazing it is that you can drive across a whole country in one day and see so much, see so many people, so many cultures, and stick it into less than 24 hours. And then I became really proud of my amazing country, and that I have the ability to do that. Isn't it so unique? And as for my worries, at the moment I saw my friends, we hugged the biggest hug that I've been waiting for. Everything felt like nothing had changed. We sat and talked like we used to, exchanging feelings and experiences and jokes, catching up on half a year in just half an hour. And at one point, one of my friends said to me, "Gaia, 6 months, and you're exactly the same," and all my worries have faded away. My friends in the army told me how they held weapons and heard secret things that they weren't allowed to even tell me, and my heart exploded with pride and worry for them. So my friends asked me, "So Gaia, how is St. Louis?" And I stammered a bit, not knowing what to answer. Because the last time I saw them, we were all like a bunch of dumb teenagers who just graduated high school. And here I was, Gaia, who have gone through such a very meaningful journey, learning what independence is and maturing is in a way that I can't even explain to them. Because the last time they saw me, the reality was different. So I told them about United Hebrew and the Israeli Scouts, and the new traditions I learned during the holidays, the real one, and the weird one that I was shocked about and they were obviously shocked about too. And all of the people here in St. Louis that have entered my heart. So they were excited to hear about everything, just wanting to know more and more. And I felt immense happiness and excitement. I celebrated my 19th birthday also in Israel, and my friends and family knew what I loved and took me to my favorite flower picking place, because after all, I'm a flower girl that loves flowers. And they took me to a beautiful music concert and to eat the Israeli food that I've been craving for so long. And at my birthday, I felt like I was taking a very big and significant step. Because after the most crazy 6 months of my life, during which I became a different person, basically, and received so much from the amazing community in St. Louis, I got to celebrate my birthday in Israel, which felt like a major milestone, marking my maturation as I was right in the middle of this wildest journey that I've ever taken. And at that point in time, I was even more excited to return to St. Louis and continue my life here from where I left off, but just 1 year older. But with all the joy, of course, came other emotions, because all my longing for Israel and for the beautiful streets and people, with all of that, I couldn't forget that the streets I missed so much were also filled with mixed emotions. So you see, I arrived to Israel at the very moment when the traffic news hit the people of Israel, that Shiri, Kfir, and Ariel Bibas were murdered in captivity. I'm sure that you all heard about what happened and were just as shocked as me when I found out. When I found out what happened, I sat with my mom in our living room in our house, and we cried together, hugging. And the sadness and mourning were felt all across Israel, in every corner. In my neighborhood, Ramat Chen, there is the Kfar Maccabiah Hotel. And this hotel have been hosting the people that live near Gaza and like in the Gaza Strip from kibbutzes, from a couple of kibbutzes over there since October 7, 2023 with generosity and love. And when the tragic news about the Bibas family broke, it was announced that the Bibas family's Shiva would take place there. Therefore, we felt sorrow and solidarity at every moment of the day as we saw people driving by on their way to the hotel, the crowds gathering there, and the heavy traffic on the nearby streets. All the people I knew went to the Hostage Square in Tel Aviv to show solidarity with the grieving families and to pay their respects. Going through all of this while at home was especially powerful and a bit comforting, and it made me think a lot about the meaning of what I'm doing here and what I'll take back with me and share here in St. Louis. I felt like I really needed to be home exactly during this time, to be with my people at such a difficult moment, and I felt like I arrived at the exact right time to Israel. I need to be there with the people who were grieving and needed all the help they could get. And in my mind, I thought how important it is now more than ever that we all stand together, all the Jewish people around the world, and support each other and hug each other and be united in this together. So this visit in Israel made me realize that these feelings are not something that I'm gonna leave over there. The pain, the longing, the desire for better days for Israel, the tears and frustration, but also the hope for Israel. There are emotions that came back with me here to St. Louis, and I will carry them with me, holding them closer to my heart for the remaining 6 months of my experience as a Shinshin here. I can't wait for the incredible things I'll continue to experience here and with this amazing community in St. Louis. Thank you so much for being here and hugging me and going through this together with me. I hope you had a wonderful Purim, and I wish everyone a great Shabbat, and that's it. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much, Gaia. I think it is truly amazing how you captured truly beautifully the full experience of, to some extent, what it means to be human. Is from the breadth of joy of being together to deep sadness and the sense of comfort you get with family, with your people, as you said. And it made me think, as you were talking about what you're bringing back now, of course, the phrase that we've been saying for I don't know how many millennia, but also in particularly of recent days, of Am Yisrael Chai. And that phrase, the Jewish people live, or the people of Israel live, is not just an affirmation of identity. It's not just a declaration that we are here, but that emphasis on the word chai is that we live, and we live together. And it's through that being in community, being in togetherness and living together that we really find those most meaningful moments. And I think that it was a beautiful encapsulation of what that phrase means. So thank you so much, Gaia. And that also is what Shabbat means. It's the time to be together, to appreciate the most precious things in life. And so we continue celebrating Shabbat, welcoming in the Sabbath bride with the Chadodi on page 138.
So, for tonight, we have a special Chadodi that is also celebrating the end of Purim. You know this. Oh, once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman was his name, sir. He lied and lied about the Jews, that they were not to blame. So, Lecha Dodi Dikrot Kala, Tenei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Dikrot Kala, Tenei Shabbat Nekabela. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו על המיוחד אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, בראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא. התעוררי, כי ברך ומאורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא. Please rise. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי Here it comes again. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא. לך דודי נקרא תהילה, פני שבת נקרא.
And we now continue with our service, with our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, on page 146.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach
On page 148, we join together in our evening prayer of creation, Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim. Bechochma poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishanei itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmeratehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla. Adonai tzevaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu lel, lam va'et. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ari.
Amen.
And on page 151, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And the watchword of our faith, Shema, on page 152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
You may be seated as we read Ve'ahavta in the English on page 155. I invite you to read with me. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them on the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot together, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. And on page 158, we'll sing our Song of Freedom, Michamocha, and just a reminder that Passover is just about a month away, and so we'll begin to get in the spirit. Michamocha, 158.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר בקודש, נורא תהילות תוסף אלה, נורא תהילות תוסף אלה. la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
On page 160, the Hashkivenu is a prayer that we ask God to watch over us as we lie down and as we wake up to life renewed. I would say perhaps this evening we ask a little extra that God watch over all of us in our community, not only at United Hebrew, but all of the St. Louis and surrounding communities as well. And so we sing this prayer of protection, of comfort, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Spread the shelter. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Save us. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu
As we turn to page 164, and I invite you to rise for the Amidah, I also invite and draw your attention to the bottom of the opposite page. I think it's fitting this evening. Every word of one's prayer should be like a rose that is picked from a bush. One gathers rose upon rose until a bouquet is formed, and it can be offered to God as a beautiful blessing. And so let us pick our roses and add our blessings together.
Adonai שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Page 168. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. Page 170. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. And we turn in our prayer books to page 177. And we offer a prayer for gratitude at the top of the page. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulecha Na'eh Lehodot. And together at the top of page 179, we offer a prayer for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name be hallowed every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael. Bashalom. And we turn to a prayer outside of our prayer books that we have been reciting together this past year, singing together. And tonight, as we offer this prayer, we certainly lift up the news that was today that perhaps Eden Alexander is coming home, and 4 of 4 will be reunited with their families, although they have passed. But we hope that at least this is the beginning of the rest that will come home, and will continue offering this blessing until they all come home as we join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim matir asurim Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim matir asurim.
And we turn to page 377 as we join together in a prayer for the state of Israel. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. And we turn to page 371 as we turn our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers towards those in our community who are in need of healing, our friends, our loved ones. And tonight, if you are thinking of someone who is in need of healing, I ask you please to rise. And together we will call their names aloud, sending their names toward the heavens with our prayers. And we take all of those names into our hearts, and we think of all who are in need of healing as we join together in singing our Mishaberach for healing.
Mishaberach avoteinu mekor haveracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imoteinu mekor haveracha leavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
And we take a moment for silent and personal prayer.
ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצון נמרי פי והגיון ליבי. יהיו לרצון נמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. Repeat after me. May the words of my mouth, and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true, May the May acceptable to you, oh my rock, my rock, my rock, my rock, and my Redeemer. Let's hear you. Do 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 do
I'll bend over. You're so spiritual. It's just beautiful. And your words were positively magnificent. I can't even imagine at your young, precious age to come over here to America, then to go back over to Israel, and to digest all that, everything of what your family and your country is going through. But you can appreciate that we're here for you, and we love you, and I just wanted to share that. I'm Corey Wallace. I'm one of the board members here at UH. Tomorrow, Torah study at 8:45 a.m. in the Javelin Youth Lounge and available on Zoom. Shabbat morning service, 10 a.m. here in the Millstone Sanctuary and available on live stream. Upcoming events, Passover at United Hebrew, see website for details. The Women's Seder, Tuesday, April 1st, 6:30 p.m. I hope I get this pronunciation. The Adult Chametz and Beer Party, Sunday, April 6th at 3 p.m. Fast of the Firstborn Study at Siyum, S-I-Y? Siyum, Thursday, April 10th at 9 a.m. First night of Passover Seder, Saturday, April 12th at 6 o'clock p.m. Passover morning service, Sunday, April 13th at 9 a.m. Passover Yitzchak morning service and family Shabbat Saturday, April 19th at 10 a.m. Singing Bowls meditation is Saturday, April 19th at 11:30. You can now RSVP for a night to remember, which is prom through the decades in celebration of the 2025 Chai Society honorees. Please visit the website for details and sponsorship options. For additional information on upcoming classes and programs, please visit the UH website. Thank you for the tech team for making it possible for all of us to be together virtually tonight. And please feel free to check our website or call the office for gift shop hours. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Whoops. I'm going to add one announcement. On Saturday, April 12th, yes, it's Erev Pesach, and everybody's getting ready for their Seders, but it is Shabbat on that day, and Shabbat morning at 10 a.m. at services, Gaia is going to be celebrating, while she already is a bat mitzvah, because we all become bar or bat mitzvah merely by reaching a certain age. Gaia, having grown up where she did and not in the United States, as a female, never had the opportunity to celebrate by reading Torah. So on Shabbat morning, April 12th, 10 a.m., we invite everybody to join us here in the sanctuary as we celebrate Gaia's, we'll say, bat mitzvah, as she will be reading from the Torah and delivering a Devar Torah and words of Torah that morning. So please come celebrate with us. She has not read Torah, so this is a really special and big moment. So we turn to page 586, and we rise now for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 591. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated, and we turn to page 594. And as we prepare to conclude our service and think of those who came before us, and as we conclude this festive holiday that we've been celebrating and enter Shabbat, it is a festive holiday in which we feel God's presence, and yet in the text that we read, God was not present, or was but not mentioned. And so at the top of page 594, a reading that has me thinking of this day and Shabbat. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24 and each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. And so we think of God in the faces of all we know and those who came before us. As this Shabbat, the heartfelt condolences of our congregation go out to the family of Mark Perlberg. This week, this Shabbat, we observe the yahrzeits and we lovingly remember Dinah Ashenoff, Nathan Backerman, Henry Louis Bankendorf, Millie S. Behrman, Richard Beldner, Rosa Bergman, Morris Bothman, Tilly Claris, Fanny Siegel Cohen, Morris Jack M.J. Cohen, John David Deichman, Leona Dreyfus, Janet Bierman Ellman, Jenny Esserman, Manuel Esserman, Edna Feldman, Abe Fine, Gittel Friedman, Pauline Garfinkel, Rosaline Geiger, Gilbert Goldman, William I. Gordon, Jerome Samuel Gottlieb, William Grossberg, Robert Grossberg, William Hafner, Jeffrey A. Harris, Daniel Halischer, Kenneth R. Hutkins, Victoria H. Jablon, Irving Jablon, Max L. Kessler, Jack L. Kligman, Morris Landau, Miriam Lebedin, Riva Lepowich, Henry R. Lerner, Cyril D. Levy, William Levitt, Isidore Lipschitz, Samuel Ludwig, Raymond H. Marcus, Harry Margulis, Michael M. Mathis, William Melnick, Wilma Engel Messing, David S. Millstone, Gittel Moore, George Neufeld, Ida Nieberg, Ann Oglander, Louis L. Oxenhandler, Harry Peters, Elizabeth J. Podolsky, Walter I. Pollock, Fanny Rosenkrantz, Becky Rosenstock, Sally Pokris Ross, Marvin Rothberg, Joyce Rudolph, Leo Samuelson, Helen Sanofsky, Annie Sanofsky, Fanny S. Seltzer, Jacob Simon, Agnes O. Barish Simon, Gertrude M. Sinkoff, Frank B. Spasser, Oliver O. Vittert, Joseph Weber, Annette Weinberg, Raymond E. Weissman, Hannah Passon White, Ronald F. Wolf, Saul Yaker, Frank Yampolsky, Louis A. Zerman. If one of these loved ones is yours, I invite you to please rise so that we may recognize the memory of your loved one. Zichronam livracha. May all of their memories be for blessing. And I invite everyone now to please rise and stand with our mourners for Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 598. Yit Gadal ve'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach Yerute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam momei almaya. Yit barach ve'yishtabach ve'yit pa'ar ve'yit romam ve'yit naseh. V'yit hadar ve'yit halev ve'yit halal Shemei dekudashah barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiram be'alma ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Osei shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. And on this Shabbat, we didn't even talk about the parasha, Parashat Kitisa. It is a parasha that we read during our festivals, but what it is best known for is that this is the parasha of the golden calf. So it's what it's best known for, which is the least thing that we should be remembering, because it's our moment of not so goodness in our history, but we learn from it. We learn from it. And so when it comes together with Pesach, it's actually this sort of interesting place of starting over, coming out of this moment that we created with Kitisa and the golden calf, this time of unsurety and so on, and we created chaos. And then we come to this moment of Purim in which we didn't create the chaos, it was created for us, but we have to be resilient and we have to come out of it as well. And so I want to share a prayer for Kitisa, a bit of it that was written by Joanne Fink, and I received it today in an email, and I thought it was beautiful and fits for Purim and also for Kitisa. May we give ourselves permission, it's called permission, to begin again and again and again, knowing that we are part of something greater than ourselves. May we grow in patience and resilience and be blessed with courage and strength to address whatever challenges may arise on the next leg of our journey. I'm going to step out of it to other words that she said. May we trust on that journey when challenges arise. May we trust that we have been prepared for the moment. May we step forward with the courage to answer the call. And may we reflect God's compassion in all that we do for such a time as this. And may we understand that we are human beings, not human doings, and take time for the introspection and reflection necessary to fuel our soul's sacred light. And we turn from this soul's sacred light to a little bit of joy as we end tonight, because even though, yes, Purim is coming to a close, unless you live in a walled city. So in Jerusalem, there is a big bash on Sunday after Shabbat. Same, I believe, in Akko. And if there still were Jews in Iraq and other places like that, they would be celebrating. But it is still the month of Adar, which means we are still supposed to be filled with joy. So we end singing about the month of Adar.
Misha, 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 נכנס אדר. Misha, 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 נכנס אדר. Misha, נכנס אדר, מרבים בשמחה. Misha, נכנס אדר, מרבים בשמחה. Misha, 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 נכנס אדר. Misha, 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 נכנס אדר. Misha, נכנס אדר, מרבים בשמחה. Misha, נכנס אדר, מרבים בשמחה.
And to continue the festivities for everybody who is here in the sanctuary, there are lots of Hamantaschen to go. Please, please take your fill of Hamantaschen. And as Rabbi Reinhardt pointed out to me, that Hamantaschen are like mini hand pies. So it is March 14th, 314, also St. Louis Day. So take a mini Haman pie Taschen with you. Take them all. Take a box. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.